Alright, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to proceed with this video. I just got various things that I'm doing, so I might as well catch it on film. Uh, let's see. This is an Adze handle that I made years ago, maybe 3 years ago, out of live oak. This is the main branch. This is another branch coming off. I think this is the top of the tree. So yeah, this is the main branch. I actually bent this straight. A heat bend straight. It did crack a little bit right there. So it was, yeah, I curved up this way. I bent it down and split it a little bit. Sunlight coming in here. So I don't think this will affect the handle. It's been drying for a few years, so. And then last night I cut this. I had a notch cut in here already, but I cut it back a little bit further because I'm going to haft some Adze blades in here. Now this is not perfectly flat. This is all done with hand tools, modern hand tools, but I'm going to start working on it with stone tools. Anyway, this is not perfectly flat, so I think what I'll have to do is put a piece of leather on top of here to get it so that the haft is solid, so the Adze blade sits in there well. Anyway, I'm going to try chopping it with this tool again. Again, this is live oak. I think I mentioned that. It's one of the toughest woods out there. Now, I'm debating whether or not to repair this. I feel like just taking a big chunk out of it right here and repair this. Maybe I should do that right now. One more note on this. I covered the whole thing with wood glue. It's PVA glue, right? But as I get better, I'll be doing these tool handles on film with stone tools. The whole process, cutting the thing down. I'm in the process of looking for some wood right now. I think ash is the only thing that grows well enough like this, with branches sticking almost 90 degrees out, for me to cut. So I'll be cutting some of those. They'll be drying in the meantime while I'm trying to get better at the stone tool woodworking. I cut this the other day. It's box elder, very, very soft wood, 3 days ago, and it's already pretty dry. Yeah, it was green 3 days ago, and it's already very dry. Peel the bark straight off, no splitting, but I did cut a thicker piece than this, and it started to split like crazy. So whatever that is, it's not quite an inch in diameter. Let's see. So this you don't have to worry about it splitting. I think I'm going to make a pressure flaking tool out of this. All right, let's see. I think I'll repair this side here. I've been looking for stuff. I got some Vermont stones there in the background. I guess I'll get into that a little bit later. Hard hammer stone. I'm just going to peck on the edge here. It doesn't take much. This particular type of chert is kind of crumbly. And yeah, stiff fracture. This doesn't need to be very sharp. It crushes the wood anyway. This side here, this side is the one that's good for chopping. I can chop with this side also, but it just crushes most of the wood. Yeah, I think I am going to take a big try to get a big flake off of that one. Let's see. Sandstone. Yeah, Vermont has sandstone. I think I mentioned that already. I found two types of abrading stones, and this one can be used as a hammerstone as well. This is sandstone. I just found a little creek out here. This one I found in the same creek, not too far away, and it's some kind of volcanic stuff. It looks like. Very lumpy. Looks like it'll be an excellent abrader. There's light from this, there's sunlight right there. Where is it coming in? Okay, I don't know what this stuff is. It looks volcanic. And I was already trying to abrade with it. Looks like it's going to be an excellent abrading tool. So, abrading the antler tool bits may not take as long as I was thinking. This works out. It feels very coarse and very sharp. Like it's actually cutting into the wood. Like a rasp. Again, this is very soft wood. It figures that the sunlight's right there. It's very soft wood, so. All right. I think it'll work. Okay. All right. Enough distractions. Let's see if I can remove a big flake here. I want to do it so that it's not going to step. I want to get in between these two step fractures, which may not be possible, but I'll try it anyway. All right, did it do it? It did it. Nice. Now, this could be an issue, the scoop out, because it does interfere, you know, when you're chopping. It scrapes up against the wood if it's a thick piece. But to get rid of that, I will just use the hammerstone. I found my big hammerstone, right? But now I don't know where my medium-sized one is. Dang it. I just need to hammer this step fracture. Just to knock it back a little bit. So it won't be so it won't catch the edge of the wood. Anyway, that's the procedure basically on this stuff. Hope for the best. It doesn't really matter too much. It doesn't really improve the efficiency of the stone chopping tool because the edge isn't that great on stone. What am I looking for? All right, hard hammerstone to address this up a little bit. Why the hard hammerstone? Because I don't have to put much effort into this. Just tap it little bitty taps. Little bitty taps have a big effect with a hard, this is a chert hammerstone. It's a landscape gravel. Now with these edges, you can grind these down to make them smooth so that these little platforms are not sticking out that the wood can catch onto and remove a flake. Now I can abrade it too, so I think I'll abrade it, and it'll help with the deltas. I don't want to abrade across this way. I'm going to be braiding just the sides. Oops. I was trying to knock back some of that and I hit the edge by accident. Yeah, that kind of hurt because I didn't want to lose a lot of that edge. I don't know how I managed to hit that by accident. Let's see, you're going to need to take another big flake here. I'll take a big flake off of here, hopefully. Let's see. Yeah, not too bad. Hold on. Might be able to hit that again so I can remove more of it. Yeah, hit that again so maybe it'll travel. I got a partial crack here, so maybe if I put this back on and hit it again, it'll remove more of it. This time I hit it with a hammerstone. Make sure it's well seated. Okay. This time a little bit softer, hammerstone, medium grade. It's not doing anything, but I'm going to continue. Yeah, I see some cracking starting on this side. So it might go. I just got to be very careful not to hit anywhere else except right on that platform. All right. So did it do it? It did it. Okay, so much better. Probably be able to take one off the other side too. It's going to be turning into a napping video instead of a woodworking video. Because I'm going to take a flake off the other side too. And then I'll dress it up. Do I really want to take something off the other side? Let's see. I don't have to take anything off that side yet. So I want to be able to maintain at least some of that edge. Keep it there for a while. Yeah, there's no reason for me to do that. Just looking at the edge, it looks okay. I just got to make sure I get rid of some of these high spots. I might be able to get through that high spot or remove it with a little bit of flaking here. Nope. And yeah, it's very crumbly, so I'm starting to get some crushing. Let's see. Antler will help to prevent crushing, so I should have used antler to hit there. But I wanted to use a hammerstone anyway. It's a mid-grade. Hopefully, I was hoping it would work, but I need something softer. All right, let's see. Yeah, I missed it. So steppy. So yeah, napping the edge sharper requires more skill than grinding the edge sharper. Yeah, it doesn't really need to be perfect. I'm just trying to get it perfect for the video. The chopping edge is on, it's on this side basically. This is the side that needs to be smooth. Well, no, actually, yeah, for what I'm going to be doing, it's this side that needs to be smooth. So I achieved that pretty much. It's not perfect. I'm just going to make a slight modification to the Adze handle. Come on. I need a little bit of cooperation here. I just need a little bit off of there. Yeah, a little bit too much. Oh well. I got all kinds of different sandstones in here. I think what I'm going to do with this one is try to break it in half, because when it's half-y, it's much easier to use than a round one like this. And I'm not using this as a hammerstone because it's way too crumbly. So I'm just going to smooth a little bit of the edge here. Or the sides, I should say. Not the edge, but the sides. Yeah, I didn't do very good at trying to prevent these little platforms. On a projectile point, it doesn't really matter to have the edge wonky like this. But for this kind of chopping, I think you'll see. All right. I just need to round this off and put a bevel on this. And I'm going to use this heavier chopping side rather than this thinner chopping side. This thicker chopping side here. All right, let's see. Any edge damage? There seems to be a little bit from just that little bit of chopping. Now, if I wanted to, I could just grab, instead of doing this kind of edge, or instead of using this kind of edge, I can use the edge of just a regular flake. Just a flick, no modification. Just pick it up. I haven't even dulled it anywhere. And then start chopping. I do need to wear a glove for this one though. Let's see. Because I haven't dulled any of the edges around it. I'm just going to use an existing edge. Oh, I keep hitting that stupid lamp. I'm just going to use an existing edge. There's no modification at all. It's a little bit more difficult to use because it doesn't have a grip. It just has, you know, an area that I can grip, but it's not perfect. You can't see what I'm doing. I'm hitting it with that part right there. Now, if you can do this with just a piece of flake and not have to use the formal axe, why use a formal axe? What are they good for? Well, that's where we're going to find out. It looks like the flake is doing just as well or better. The only thing is, these do wear out, these flakes. So eventually I would have to dress up the edge of the flake. You know, you just tuning in, this is a piece of live oak, so I don't think there's anything harder that I can use. It is seasoned, it's 3 years old or more. And this is just a mid-grade Edwards chert. It's not a really, really hard chert either. Now my axe I was using previously is made of crumbly type of chert. I don't know the name of it. The Edwards chert is a little more slick. It's less crumbly. If I have a lot of this, then I could just keep using flakes for my woodwork. Don't have to worry about it. Pick them up from the quarry, not have to worry about carrying them around like the little axe. But my goal is to try to figure out what's the advantage of having those little axes, celts, you know, formal little axe heads. I'm going to call them formal because they're not expedient like this one. This is just an expedient flake. And as long as the expedient flake has the right edge on it, it's just as fast as one of those formal axes, or faster. It's not perfect because I do have some tear out there. Probably because of the way I was chopping it, it wasn't flat. Let's see. But that doesn't matter too much. It doesn't matter if I lose length off of this. You can see the live oak is kind of brittle. So now that I know that it's really brittle, I'll probably just grind it down with something next time instead of trying to chop it. Now I do have a hatchet, hopefully somewhere back here. Anyway, if I don't find it, I can show it to you when I find it. And I'm going to compare the small hatchet to the stone tools. It's a steel small hatchet. I'm going to compare that to the small tools. All right. With the time I have left, I'm just going to grind this down. All right. This doesn't need to be all that long. I knew I was going to lose some of this. One of the reasons why I took this back a little bit. But I think I might have to grind this down a little flatter so it's all the way flat across the top and that sort of thing. So I'll make modifications to it if I need to. I left this rough when I first made it just so the cordage will hold better. See those? Those I did with a saw, a modern saw. You can do those with stone also. Okay, so this is another piece of that river volcanic rock from Vermont. See if I can make a quick job of this. Let's see, did I zoom in? This is what the stone looks like, or the result of the stone tool. Now I'm gonna sand it down. I'm getting a lot of tear out because it's brittle. Let's see. Yeah, nothing I can do about that. It doesn't matter too much. As long as most of this area is flat. I have built one of these before. As long as everything is pretty flat, for the most part, the stone doesn't rock around in the socket or whatever you want to call this. It's not a socket, it's just a shelf, right? It doesn't really move around too much on the shelf unless it doesn't have a firm seat. That's why I'm going to put a piece of leather in here so that the contours will kind of be filled by the leather if there's a depression somewhere. Okay. And it'll probably absorb a little bit of shock too, so it's not all chattery. Because these things get loose. Even if you use rawhide or something, the bits get loose. But I'll show you. Yeah, I probably should have started much earlier with the grinding, with the abrading. I think I need to get big stones, right? Because this is so much easier if you can put the stone down and then grind the tool over the top of it. Grind the object that you're shaping over the top of the stone. Why is this taking forever? Because it's live oak. Live oak. And I'm using small stones. I'll show you how much of a difference it makes when you have a large stone setup. I'll get on the trail probably next week with the camera. Get some better footage so you don't see modern stuff in the background and that sort of thing. It doesn't need to be anywhere near perfect, but I wanted to get it symmetrical. Somewhat symmetrical. All right. So in the next video, I'll be creating a actual tool. I mean the adze blade. Let's see. I could use this as a practice piece, which I think I did this on video. I said I was going to use it for something else, but what I'll probably do is make the practice piece adze blade, because I have plenty of length and width on this. And then I say practice piece because it'll probably be all wonky because it's so irregular as far as the texture goes. Differences in consistency of the stone, but I can make a practice adze point, and then from the practice one I can make better ones and use it as a pattern. Yeah. All right, so that'll be the next video. I'll actually make the adze blade for this. Okay.